practicing social distancing.
You can't come in and videotape, but
I'm sorry, what?
you can't come in and videotape instead of property.
All right, guys. So here we are back again, Duluth, Minnesota. D.U.E Process, Andrew here. And we're going to be doing a little tour of the building. You can see that we're actually in a downtown area here. We're going to go to the post office, but it turns out we got a little treat. We actually have a courthouse, we have a federal building, and we have, I have no idea what that is, but we'll figure that out in just a minute. So let's go on over here to the post office. We do have 1 hour on the meter there, so we had to pay for parking, but that's no big deal because you guys are going to like and subscribe the channel to help us out. Those are one of the things that you can do that will tremendously help the algorithm with YouTube, and we'll be able to get more people seeing our videos, which is incredibly important if you guys are interested in what we are doing. If you like what we're doing, like we said, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it on various social media platforms so that we get our videos out to as many people as possible, and share with everybody exactly what we're doing to take a stand up for our civil rights as afforded to us by the U.S. Constitution, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna head on over here to the post office, do a little inspection, pay a little visit with these folks, see if they do have their poster 7 up, and honor and respect our rights to take video and photograph from publicly accessible areas of these public buildings. And let me know if you guys have anything you want to see. We're going to be going on a trip here in the next couple of days that will take us across a lot of the northern United States with respect to North Dakota, South Dakota, and a few other places. So as you can see right here, this is the U.S. Post Office and courthouse and custom house. So I'm not exactly sure what that all means, but it is a pretty cool looking building, pretty large building made of marble here. You can see the reserved parking spots for individuals who are employees of the post office, U.S. government vehicles right over there. You can see here some individuals coming and going from the facility. And some nice shade over here. It's very good. It feels very, very nice as it relates to that. So here is U.S. Post Office right here. This is the employee entrance. Okay, so please use the entrance on Privilege Drive. Of course, as is always, inside of government buildings, firearms and weapons are of course prohibited, and you can be charged with a crime. So make sure that you do not carry any weapons into the building, just in case you are doing anything where they would actually stop you. So license to carry concealed handgun issued under state laws is not an exemption from this prohibition. So keep that stuff in mind. It's actually very important that you do not bring your weapons into the buildings here in the post office. So actually no idea how to get into this building, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna walk around. It's actually a beautiful area. Out there you can see that's Lake Superior, rather large lake, a couple gallons of water in it, I've heard. It's pretty big. We'll go down there and see if we can get some lunch here today and go forward from there. So this is, door opens outward. I don't know what this is here. It does look like not an entrance. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can find out what is going on here. You can see out there, there's a sailboat, there's a ship, a barge actually out there in the bay there for Lake Superior. We do have Wisconsin is right on the other side there too. So this is Duluth, Superior. The only thing separating Duluth and Superior is a small bridge that goes over Lake Superior, and then you are of course in Superior, Wisconsin instead of Duluth, Minnesota, which is pretty powerful. So you can see here there's some water fountains over there. This is actually a really awesome place. Those individuals who work down here have a really good work environment, it looks like. So you can see right there, the people's laws define usages, ordain rights and duties secured by public safety, define liberty, teach reverence and obedience, and establish justice. So that is how that works there. Good old UPS. What can Brown do for you? So I believe this actually might be the post office. So this is a federal building, U.S. courthouse and custom house. So maybe that's the post office. Nope, that is not the Coke Post Office. We'll figure that out. I think this is where we need to go. So let's go ahead and get some footage up here. This is the federal courthouse, Gerald Henney, federal building, U.S. courthouse and custom house. Again, no weapons in the building. Possession of a firearm is a crime, a federal crime. So this is not something that you want to mess around with as it comes to that. Here's a really good view of the area here. Pretty cool. Old Glory right over there. Get you a good view of the fountain before we take off here today as well. But you can see that these are some pretty substantially large buildings as it relates to it. So cruise on down this way, get you guys some information. There's our vehicle down there, some people wandering around. Looks like there is some marble work here. Whole building made of marble. I bet this was a pretty penny. There's a security camera up there. Some pretty nice windows in the building. Some benches for people to sit down on, whatever might be going on with that. And somebody else down there taking some video of the area. So I don't think they're going to have any issue with us being here. Which is something that we've actually found to be pretty consistent as it relates to Minnesota here. You can see this, some more buildings up there, security cameras. This is the designated smoking area for those of you who are needing your nicotine fixes. Here is the area for you to come over here in Duluth, Minnesota, and you could smoke cigarettes. Here is a sign, U.S. government property, authorized personnel only beyond this point. So this is a restricted area, guys. That is what you need to make sure that you do pay attention to, restricted areas in these buildings, because it could lead to some precarious situations for you. And if you, of course, are in a precarious situation and you find yourself needing legal protection, in the link in the description, you will see that there is a opportunity for you to be able to get some affordable legal protection and representation on the condition that you might need that service in the future. So here's an officer here rolling up into the courthouse area. You can see that they're just doing a patrol. That is a community services officer. I think that's the one that actually writes you the tickets if you don't pay your meter. So we'll see what she does as she rolls around the corner there by her vehicle. We of course did pay the meter. We fed the meter to do that, and that's just drove right on by. No biggie deal there. So here's the fallout shelter sign. It's a pretty sizable building, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool building, if I do say so myself. So let's see what we got on the wall here. This looks like an entryway. Somebody left their phone out here. I don't really know if that's supposed to be here, but it looks like it is. Practicing social distancing.
You can't come in and videotape, but
I'm sorry, what?
you can't come in and videotape, it's federal property?
It's a federal building?
Yeah.
We can in publicly accessible areas as long as
It's
we're
like a judicial order.
Is a what?
It's a judicial order. It's a federal courthouse.
It's a judicial order that you can't come into the publicly accessible areas?
Chief Judge of the Federal Courts of Minnesota prohibits recording inside the federal courthouse.
Is that right? Do you have that judicial order? Because that'd be very interesting for our viewers to see, because it's very, very...
Camera's outside.
I'm in the public area.
Camera's
so
outside. Is the camera running?
I don't answer questions. But do you have that judicial order? I'll be happy to follow with that if that's the case. And I'm actually looking at the post
All the
office.
federal district courts in Minneapolis will provide you with that.
You can have this.
Awesome.
It's also online.
Very nice. Well, we appreciate that.
Yep,
Thank
you
you
bet.
very much.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Good
You have a good day. Do you know what the post office is? Because that's actually what we were looking for.
Yep.
You do?
Yep, here.
It's here?
Yep.
In this building?
Yep.
Like this is the post office?
No, there is a post office that's housed in this building with the federal courts. Yes.
Gotcha. How do we get access to the post
I'll
office?
let you in if you have business with the post office.
I do. I need to get some stamps.
Cameras won't come in.
Poster 7, are you familiar with that?
What?
Are you familiar with Poster 7?
I don't know, poster 7.
If you want, you can. I'll show it to you. It should be on the wall in every post office. It allows us to take video and photographs from publicly accessible areas.
Federal courthouse.
So are you doing a denial of service? Is that what's happening?
I'll let you go to the post office, but you can't film inside the federal courthouse.
Oh, I'm just going to the post office. That's the only point why we were here.
You're gonna get some stamps, you said,
Yeah.
but you won't be filming.
In the post office, it's permitted. So that's
No, you're not following with what I'm telling you. This is a
What's your
federal
name?
courthouse.
I didn't catch your name. What was your name again?
Campbell. Scott, first name.
Scott Campbell? Nice to meet you, Scott. So would you be kind enough to take me over to the post office and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about? No? So you're denying me service?
I'll let you into the post office, but you can't record inside the courthouse.
I would disagree with that because there
All right,
is
hold on.
express permission that we
First
have to be able to do that.
Deb, I need your help.
I'm not interested in filming any of the judicial areas. I just want to go to the post office and get a
This
stamp.
one's the windows that are in this building.
This is the post office right over
This is
there.
the window you walk up to the business at the window.
Yeah, we're just getting stamped. That's what
Right,
we're.
you can come in with no cameras up there.
Well, I'm not going into any area where it's restricted. It's just the.
It's restricted right here.
Inside that door is restricted.
Interesting. How are you?
Good.
What's your name? So I know who I'm speaking with.
Tim.
Tim? Nice to meet you, Tim. My name's Andrew. I'm looking to go get a postage stamp. That's what I'm trying to do. And he's telling me that I can't record in the post office.
That's correct.
Do you have poster 7 up on your wall?
We're just telling you you can't.
So you're just telling me that I can't? You're not gonna let me go get a, even though it's.
You can
it's
use the
perfectly
post
legal?
office all you want, you just can't film through here. You have to have the press credential.
Oh, yeah, we do.
If you have
First
that,
Amendment.
you sure can.
First Amendment is the press credentials. So would you be kind enough to let me show you poster 7 if it's just right over here?
It gave you the answer.
Okay, so the answer is no? So you guys are denying service? Is that what you're doing?
I believe that's the way I understand it.
Paper. It's a federal courthouse. They just happen to have a post office in here.
Well, yeah, I'm not going into courtrooms or anything like that. The only goal was to
But
go.
that is for the whole building. That paper that she has in her hand.
You see where it is?
An entire test.
That's very interesting because now you have a problem because you do have express
We don't have a
permission.
problem.
You do have express
We have a
permission.
breakdown of understanding. Apparently, you don't understand what we're trying to explain to you.
Well, no, I understand what you're trying to say to me because you guys obviously have things that you need to keep hidden from public view, but the post office isn't one of those things. And if poster 7's on the wall, it gives us express permission to do that. And it's a federal, not
Not over the judicial. You'll have to go online.
so easy stuff. I mean, it's just a postage
And it's
stamp.
an easy explanation we're giving you is you're prohibited from recording within inside the federal courthouse.
I'm not going
You have access to the,
I'm not going to the courthouse. That would be on this side, right? If it's that side where the
it's
post.
over on that side.
So you can't go to the post office.
You entered into a U.S. federal courthouse as soon as you cleared that door. You're prohibited from recording with cameras in the federal courthouse, per the judicial order.
Very
The post office is just like any other tenant in this building, the Coast Guard, FBI, anybody else, they're all tenants within the building.
But it's not
still
private
governed-
property.
It's still governed by the federal courts.
Right. It's government property. I'm sorry, my glasses are fogging up on me.
So that's the best we can tell you. You're not allowed to go in with the cameras recording. You can use the post office, but cameras cannot be recording.
They can in the post office. It's a federal
I'm not going to
mandate.
debate the issue. That's what
I'm
the answer.
literally asking you to go look
That's
at the
what the
wall
answer's
on the
going to be.
poster. So you're just not going to allow me in. What if I
Not
just
if you're
want to go get
recording
post
with a camera.
office?
You're
Would it be
You're prohibited.
What crime am I committing? What is the statute? What would I be charged with?
Right there.
Conduct on federal property. Very interesting. Here it is, the structure right there. See? Want to read it?
That's government property. I mean, that's generalized for the federal government property.
Here's the
Federal courts have their own restrictions that enhance that restriction from that
Right.
documentation.
but this right here cannot be overridden by state law. If you look at it right here, it gives me express
State law doesn't
permission.
come into play. This is federal court. This is federal.
Okay,
government.
well, look at what I'm asking you to read. It's right there. It tells me that I can take videos and photographs from publicly accessible areas for news and.
Not federal court. Come in.
So you're going to deny that?
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
Hi.
So as you guys can see out here, he actually did point me to a rules and regulations governing conduct on on government property, and it does explicitly state that we can do exactly what we are doing right here. So it is a denial of service, and we'll be filing a formal complaint with these gentlemen right here with the proper authorities. So you can see that right there. Did you want to take a look at the poster that you just showed us? It's right there.
It's registered orders. Why don't you get it?
Come in, man. You're interfering with passage of people that have business.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. This is to the
Come on
side.
in.
He's video recording?
No, no, there. I'm not pointing.
Oh, not me?
No.
All right. Thank you.
So you can see right there. Right there, guys. What they're doing is they're trying to act like they override your rights as afforded in the Constitution. And it's obvious that they are not interested in doing that or interested in having any conversation about it or even interested in reading their own posted information right here on the wall. So you can see there's rules governing conduct on federal property. Photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes are allowed. So we will kind of go forward from there, as you guys can see. Space occupied by tenant agency, commercial purposes only, with written permission of authorized officials. Lobbies, foyers, corridors, and auditoriums. So that is where we are at, ladies and gentlemen. So as you guys can see, if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and write into the system. We'll go ahead and wait right outside the building here to see if these fine, upstanding security gentlemen go ahead and call the police on us, which I wish they would, so that they can inform them, of course, of our rights to do exactly what it is that we are doing right here. So there is your social distancing right there on the wall. They do have a phone outside, so this will bring this back into, it probably shouldn't be out here. You see this was outside on the thing?
Thank you.
That's for you.
Very good. Appreciate it.
No problem. So here is the foyer of the building.
As specified in paragraph 3, unless specifically authorized by the chief judge or by the judge proceeding over a ceremonial court proceeding, no person may use a camera or other electronic recording device to photograph or record any court proceeding, courtroom, court office, or court staff member, or to broadcast or otherwise transmit any part of any court proceeding. So that is pertaining to the courts and
Not
being
the building.
in the courthouse. Not.
So as you can see here, guys, they are, we'll go back in here and stand in the foyer and give them that information that you saw there. So we were just reading that. It says courtrooms and court proceedings. It doesn't say anything about the access to the
We'll have the
post.
marshal's going to come down and talk to you.
Cool. That's
You can talk to the
perfect.
marshal.
That works. That works for me. Actually, a really nice building. Took us a while to find the door to it. But. Appointments for stuff right there, guys.
This was effective December 1st, 2017.
So that poster gives us express permission. This one restricts it to courtrooms and court proceedings. And that's not what we're
You
here.
can debate with the marshal and see if he has a better opinion for you, but I suggest that probably that's not going to be changing much.
No, it's not a debate. I'm not trying to debate at all. It's a constitutional right to take photos and videos.
I hear you, and I know all about it, but our orders have been told the courthouse is prohibited from the federal judge, the chief judge of the federal court, so
Hey, yeah.
Marshal can talk to you about it now.
I will be happy to respect you doing your duties. It is important.
These folks are trying to get access in and have been recording inside the courthouse. We're trying to explain to them that it's prohibited from entering the courthouse.
Are you the marshal?
I am.
Oh, what was your
Deputy
name?
Marshal here in Duluth. Excuse me, my badge number is 31219.
Nice. Thank you very much.
You can record from the outside if you want to record outside the
We're
courthouse.
actually just going to go by a stamps. That's
You
what
can
we're
go by
trying to
stamps, but you can't record inside the building. You can't actually take any photography or anything inside the building.
that gives us permission to do it, and that says that we can't do it in the courtroom during proceedings.
What's that?
Post office.
Oh, they're closed now. Okay, well, that handles all that for us. Well, we appreciate your guys' time.
Absolutely.
And we'll chat with you guys later. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. You too.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
So there you go, guys. They actually, what they did is they delayed so that the post office would be closed. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna come back here during earlier business hours, which is gonna give us a little bit extra capacity to be able to get the recording. And I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
Did they allow you to?
Oh, they delayed us until we till they closed the post office. We were just gonna go get a stamp. And went, I'm not recording.
Yeah. Okay. No, I totally understand. What group are you guys from?
D.U.E Process. We are just going around trying to make sure that the police and law enforcement, who they want to uphold their oath to defend the Constitution, First Amendment rights, those kinds of things. And we chose the post office and police stations as our venue. And what we do is you just go take a couple of videos, go in, purchase a postage stamp, and we'd be on our way.
So this is an advocacy for the police or against the police?
For good police and against the bad ones.
Oh, I can appreciate that. So I would say for them, the main thing that you should do is figure out what security firm they work for locally, and then contact, because I had an issue with them once. Who's in the Twin Cities? There's some other place that can channel through complaints. Yeah, so
We will definitely get all that in play, because
Yeah.
it's
All right.
definitely important. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time. All right, guys. So there we have a concerned citizen who is understanding exactly what it is that we were doing. She supports that and gave us some information on who we would need to speak with in order to file a formal complaint against the security guards for their abrupt prevention of us being able to exercise our rights in publicly accessible areas, refusing the denial of service for the post office, which is, of course, what we are out here to protect. They weren't going to call the police. Instead, they called the Marshal, which is actually what they are supposed to do. He came down very cordial, very respectfully, and it was just kind of explaining it to us. We just happened to run out of time, unfortunately. The post office did close, and so we'll be back later to visit, pay these folks a visit. We'll get a lot more information for the next time that we are, of course, here, and we'll go from there. So that young lady that we spoke to was very nice. She didn't want to be filmed, so we respected her right to not want to be filmed. Obviously not the right to not want to be filmed, but we respected the fact that she didn't want to be filmed, and we pointed the camera in another direction. I didn't want to get any of her personal information, but she does sound like she is some form of attorney, which is pretty good. And speaking of attorneys, if you guys are looking for good quality legal representation, the link in the description is available to you, and you can go ahead and get yourself access to affordable legal plans that will give you access to attorneys in the event that you are ever detained by law enforcement. You'll have access to that. You do not have to speak to law enforcement while they are detaining you. Your Fifth Amendment rights protect you from speaking to law enforcement and incriminating yourself, because remember, anything you say can and will be used against you. So that's all we got for you here today, guys. D.U.E Process, Andrew, signing out. Have a good one.